I'm a chemical engineer who has had my own company for 30 years. And during the course of those 30 years, the company was able to make it very well until finally we ran into a series of illnesses. First, my son ended up with a bad form of cancer. And then I ended up with prostate cancer. And then my wife, who was sick for 10 years, very sick for 6, and totally bedridden for 3 years, ended up passing away. And during these series of illnesses, our income disappeared, and the bills kept mounting until eventually we totally ran out of money. And as a result, we looked at where we might be able to turn in order to gain assistance, particularly if you have a large family, as we did at 7 kids. One has to look at all the places where one might end up looking for assistance. And certainly when it comes to the food bank, this ends up being a place where, until you can get back on your feet, there is someone there who can lend a helping hand.
Not far from corporate headquarters, luxury hotels, and glamorous malls, tonight, approximately 20,000 Montgomery County residents will go to bed hungry. They're the ones we didn't have enough food to help. The elderly on fixed incomes forced to make a choice between medicine and food. The working poor who barely make enough to get to their jobs, and children who don't get school lunches on weekends. Hunger isn't confined to one race or class. What would you do if you were laid off and couldn't find another job? Your child had a catastrophic illness that exhausted your life savings. Your spouse was crippled in a car accident and could never work again. Or you suddenly found yourself single with a mortgage that required 2 incomes. Unthinkable? We see it every day. That's why the Montgomery County Food Bank needs your help. With food, money, and time that folks like you donate, we currently feed more than 10,000 of the county's hungry. With your help, we could do even more. In 1985, the food bank began as a group of volunteers who collected surplus food and distributed it to soup kitchens, pantries, and shelters. Today, the food bank is the largest hunger relief organization in Montgomery County. We're still staffed largely by hundreds of volunteers. Many have experienced hunger at some point in their lives. Thanks to these volunteers, more than 80% of all the money we bring in goes back out to the community in the form of food. Through our partnerships with other food banks, the Feeding America Network, and more than 30 relief agencies, we're also the most efficient hunger relief organization in Montgomery County. Every dollar you donate purchases enough nutritious food to feed an entire family for a whole day. Most of the people we serve work at jobs that barely pay them enough for clothes, shelter, and transportation. Many have had their lives devastated by divorce, illness, or injury. Once back on their feet, they tend to be among our most generous supporters. With your help, we could wipe out hunger in Montgomery County. We need food, money, and volunteers. Your help can have an immediate impact on the lives of hundreds of people.
It's made a big difference. Every morning we have a good breakfast. We've got food in the pantry, and this is a wonderful place for anybody to come.
I'm a single mother with 4 kids. Without the food bank, I don't know what I'll do.
They keep a lot of babies from going home because they even have milk for them.
Sometimes I go 2-3 days without no food.
Banks are very special because I am on disability, and by the end of the month, the 3rd week of the month, I have nothing to eat, and this is the only way that I can survive until I get my next check.
Without the food bank, a lot of people couldn't make it on what they were getting a month. There'd be a lot of hungry people if it wasn't for the food bank.
I have gone hungry so that my children would eat.
We are disabled. We are not able to work. Whatever we receive monthly is not enough.
Jobs are hard to find, and It's hard to get food, and gas prices have gone up so much.
Being as I'm on disability, my wife's on Social Security, we just don't have enough money to go to the stores and buy everything we need.
You know, people go through difficult time, losing job, and gas is so high, and some people they can't even afford to feed themselves.
Times are hard, and a lot of needy people out there that need food.
God has blessed me so that I like to come out and share with the other people that may be just a little less fortunate than I am.
One might think that it can't happen to you, but it certainly can.
Donate to the Montgomery County Food Bank and see the difference your dollar makes today.
I'm hungry.